All right, trying to figure out what I'm going to do this weekend, and there's a Rigs and Coffee up in Tulsa. So I think I'm going to meet Lee for camping tonight, and then be at Rigs and Coffee tomorrow morning in Tulsa. So I made it to finally get to camp here in Oklahoma. Since I've been here, the weather's been just raining or muddy, crazy. It's still pretty soft, the ground. But yeah, it's been sunny for the last couple days and should be good all weekend. So what we're doing here, we're at Keystone Lake. It's a state park here in Oklahoma. Not overlanding, not dispersed camping. We've got picnic tables and electric hookups because Lee now has a grandpa camper, and he said that he wants to camp somewhere where he has electric. He'll get that fixed here pretty soon. I think he's getting like 300-hour lithium batteries, whatever. He's getting 3 of them. He's got 2, he's gonna get another one. So he should be able to disperse camp, but then again, he's got the big grandpa camper. So we'll see what that looks like with him moving forward. He may just go to state parks from now on. I mean, it is Lee, so who knows? Who knows where way that's gonna work out. So I've never camped here. I was going to once, and then the weather got bad and ended up staying in a hotel in Tulsa, and then just having a night in the city. So it's pretty out here. There's trees everywhere, there's hills, the lake, obviously, and things like that. But yeah, I have no idea what we're gonna do tonight. Lee and I both just kind of wanted to hang out tonight, and then go to Rigs and Coffee in Tulsa tomorrow. So we're gonna do that tomorrow, but we're gonna hang out tonight and kind of see what kind of trouble we can get into. It sounds like there's quite a few spots around here that are gonna be taken. So right now there's no one here, but it's like 3:30 on a Friday, and I imagine people start getting here later in the evening. So we'll see how that goes. Could be interesting. I'm sure Lee's gonna complain about the hill that he's gonna have to sleep on. I tried to get the flattest spot for him, but you gotta park where you can park. So yeah. Anyway, Lee should be here in a little bit. I know that's what you're really waiting to see anyway. Me and Lee together. Not just me. That's not fun. So everybody, Lee finally made the camp. The Sasquatch.
Oh man.
Jeez, dude, the hair.
I know.
Like at first, he was Jack Black, and then he became the dude from, what is that? What's that one?
We talked about it yesterday, but now I can't remember.
Even remember. Anyway, the dude, you know what I'm talking about. And then it went to Waylon Jennings.
Yeah, somehow or another, I ended up looking like Waylon Jennings.
It was parted down the middle perfectly.
Oh.
And you had the headphones on, so I was thinking of the singer and the mic.
It.
That's probably why it was.
Makes perfect sense. Now we
anyway.
know.
But hey, everybody, you want to talk about a pawpaw camper? So now, what pawpaw camper is this? This is the Adventurer. That's the name of the company.
Well, it's the name of the camper, but it's made by the same people that make the Scout campers that everybody talks about. Same company, Yakima, Washington, or somewhere is wherever they're at. So. They've been doing
so it's a company that owns both of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they've been building this one since 1969. This is actually the oldest.
This one's in 1969?
No, they started building these in 1969. I forgot how much I hated having you next to me on the show.
We're not on the show.
I know, whatever.
Video.
But yeah, they started building these in 1969. So it's pretty nice. I have to admit that I never thought I'd have one. But man, it only took a couple of nights of camping.
Now, is this a half-ton or three-quarter-ton truck?
It's a three-quarter-ton. The camper weighs 2,000 pounds.
Okay.
It's got everything. So
yeah, it's pretty nice. We'll show you inside here in a little bit, but
it's pretty cool.
But yeah, it's nice. There's a progression of what we do. We kind of probably started out as backpackers, hikers, mountain bikers or something, car camping, tent camping, however that came about. And then when you get into overlanding, which is what we've been talking about and doing forever. And then at some point, When you get old, you start going here.
This is true. And you're right about all that. That's how the progression has started. There was trailers long before this thing, and now there's this. And
well, and it's funny because I even talked to, so moving back, I'm trying to find a job, right? So I did talk to an RV place, and they said that the life is like a curve. You start off with like a smaller thing, and then you get to a bigger thing, and then you get in the biggest thing, and then at some point they go down. And they get more simpler. And you see that, I think, in some of our overlanding, because you see some people that have had really, really built out rigs that will go back into, you know, a ground tent. And for whatever reason, I don't know, I don't think I'm going back to a ground tent.
I think one of the craziest things is watching everybody start off with a rooftop tent and then migrate now into the canopy camper styles, or they've realized that,
which I think that's the progression.
Yeah, that's part of the progression. Or they go into the full size. I never really thought that I would have a full size and do something like this, but I realized that probably 80% of what I do isn't rock crawling or anything like that. It's just
we're not trying to break anything anymore.
Yeah. But I did learn
our ego.
I learned something.
Our ego gets broken, but that's about it.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I did learn something though. Michael is going to be 50 next year.
Yeah, I'm 49.
And so, here's the time. The clock is ticking.
How old are you?
He would probably. I'm 54.
Okay, so I got 4 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
So this could be in his near future.
This could be in my future sooner than that. You know, like with the Nissan, like I think it'd be cool to have. It's just small, and it's really built out pretty well.
Yeah, and you got lots of looks because people are going by here looking at it.
A few more things, and I think would make it a little easier, but that's a storage kind of issue more than anything else. So yeah, I think I'll have to get a full-size truck. So here in just a little bit, we're gonna go inside and we're gonna show you what the other half lived like.
What the other half? That would be referred to as the broke half.
Broke now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to get there. So
I just got. Hey, look, I slept in that trailer for how long? However many months?
Yeah.
I got tired of sleeping in the trailer.
Well, and then the alley cab. You really like the alley cab, but it has issues, and then you're not as spry as you used to be, so you fell out of that thing a couple times.
I bounced a couple of times, and one time smacked my head, and it did scare me pretty good. So I thought, you know what? Let's just move into something a little.
And it's funny because you wouldn't like when you think about it, you'd think, okay, well, you're still entering in from the back. What's the difference in entering in the alley cab to this?
You kind of crouch down.
You have to crouch down too much, and then getting out is the issue.
And climbing up and down. For me, it was climbing up and down. That's where I fell.
Going up or coming out?
Coming out.
Yeah.
And that's where I fell. And in this, you just step up in it, and you're in it, you know. And so there's.
Well, and you finally got a painting ladder to climb in and out of it. I suggested a smaller one, but he went with like.
Well, I went with something I already had, because I already had it. But there is something else in the works. I just have to find the right
size.
Yeah, the right size.
The right strength.
The right
strength for the weight that will be going in and out.
Ooh, shots fired.
Good morning, everybody. I slept pretty good. How'd you sleep?
Can't complain.
Dude, I was out. Of course, we were up till midnight watching that disaster of a basketball game in your pawpaw camper.
That was pretty disappointing.
It was a good game.
It was a good game.
But it didn't go my way.
No.
You don't really care.
Well, it's not that I probably don't care as much as you do, but once you get into the game and you start watching it, you're kind of like,
it was funny.
Now.
At one point, you were like, I'm getting sleepy, but now I got to finish this game because I'm curious what's going to happen. So I promised you we were going to look at the pawpaw camper on the inside. And so let's go. Let's do it. All right. So we're walking into Lee's pawpaw camper. This thing is pretty awesome. I gotta take my shoes off because he needs to get some weather tech on the ground. But so we've got a nice bench area, and this is, what do they call it? A roll?
It's a rollover couch.
A rollover couch. So this part comes over and then lays down in that area so that you got a couch there. But dude, this is like, look at this. You could live like this. Got a fridge, got some storage, got a radio. And then here's the bed area. So yeah, and he's got an extra mattress on top of there. So yeah, this is pretty sweet. And he's got, I don't know what his bathroom looks like, but he's got a bathroom. Of course, he's got just stuff in there, but it's got a shower and a toilet. So everybody that has a wife that says, I'm not going to go camping because I can't be comfortable or I can't have my home comforts, you know, shower, a bathroom, all that kind of stuff. There's no excuse. No excuse. This fits on a pickup truck, so you can park in a parking place. You can do all the things. It's a pawpaw camper. It's pretty awesome. Hey everybody, we made it out to Rigs and Coffee up here in Tulsa, and there are some awesome looking rigs out here. Quite a few people. If you haven't been, so it's at the REI, and let me flip this around and show you. All right, here's some of the vehicles here. All kinds of vehicles represented, and we've got Bison camper here, and this thing is pretty sweet. So he was one of my very early interviews when I started doing the podcast, and they were doing just shells. And now look at this thing. I mean, this, I really, really like the way he's done the seat area. And let's see if we can, yeah, let's back that up. So the U-shape. So he's gonna offer this as one of the options, and this will be at some of the shows coming up. So look for it when you go to the expos or any of the other shows that are out there. This will be here, and you got to check that out. But yeah, just quite a few rigs really for the Tulsa event. We've got Jeeps and Nissans and Toyotas and Chevys and Dodges. I guess you call them Rams now. But this is fun. Right there. That's kind of cool. Right on. Very cool. And then look at this van. Check this out. That is super cool. And then he's got a little fridge right there. Right on. What an awesome setup on the back of your van. Some more vehicles, and then look at this thing. This thing is amazing. Very cool. And then there's this. An AEV kind of setup with a little box on the back. Super cool. All right, guys. Well, that's the Rigs and Coffee here in Tulsa. If you're in the area, they do it once a month. Go check it out. Most of the groups, I think, post about it. Most of the Tulsa groups. So be sure to check that out. And yeah, maybe you'll see me. Maybe you'll see Lee. And you know, get to meet some more people and build the community. It's what Rigs and Coffee really is all about. It's just about building the community, meeting people that, you know, want to do the same kind of thing that you do, that you can plan trips with, that you can become lifelong friends with. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Whatever you do, make sure that you go all over. Thanks. I love the finish. Was that just like oops and then, well, let's just go ahead and do it all?
I had it painted and it came out shitty.
Oh, yeah. So cool. You just don't see people doing this. Right on. Right on.